Yes. No way. Oh my God.
Very subtle.
Unbelievable. Oh. And he missed it. Oh my God. Ooh la la.
Boom, no chance.
That's crazy. Game, set, and match. This is too much.
Hi everyone, welcome to the first women's semifinal of the Australian Open between Aryna Sabalenka, world number one, and Elina Svitolina, who, can I say she's a surprise at that level? She's been at that level, but lately nobody probably would have expected her to be in semis. But if you look at the quality of the tennis she's played since the start of the season, this is everything but a surprise. She deserves, of course, 100% to be in that semifinal, and the quarterfinal she's played against Coco Gauff was extremely impressive in terms of consistency, in terms of aggressiveness, of intentions, and delivery, of course. So we have a match that is very interesting because you have the heavy favorite, Sabalenka, who's been dominant in that Australian Open so far. She had a few difficult matches. We remember the match against Potapova, where she had a lot of ups and downs and she struggled. Even against Victoria Mboko, she was cruising 6-1, 4-1, and she ended up winning the second set in the tiebreak with a bit of scary moments. But she's here, as always, I want to say, because she's so consistent, Sabalenka, in terms of results. She's always there. She's the world number one, and she has a huge game, and we're going to talk about it. But she's very emotional, and it played a role a few times, especially last year in that Roland Garros final, we remember. Also last year in that final of the Australian Open. Sometimes she's so nervous that her level drops, and she kind of lose her mind and can be in danger in those moments. So it's not a final, it's a semifinal, but I think she has all the reasons to think that it's not going to be an easy match. If you look at the quality of the game at the moment of Svitolina, there are a lot of reasons again to not to be completely into a serene mindset. Something else that we need to say is that Svitolina has a child, and she's one of those very few women who decided to come back to tennis after giving birth, and very successfully. So that's the first thing. So a few words about the type of game of both players and what we should expect in that semifinal. What is Sabalenka good at? Power. She is all power. Of course, she now has. She can hit drop shots. She can come to the net. She's not only power, but her number one strength is power, and I would say her number one weakness is movement. She's not a great mover, but the good thing is her game has been built around her power and about the first shot, how she enters the point. She has a huge serve, first and second. She's over-aggressive on second serves of the opponents. So basically, she strikes first most of the time, if not all the time. And that prevents the opponent from moving her at a fast pace. And that sums up what this match will be about. And it's not everyone has in her racket the ability to move Sabalenka at a very high pace. I think the same kind of fun she did in the semifinal, the quarterfinals against Coco Gauff. Then she has the chance to, push Sabalenka, and why not beat her? And that's what happened in the semifinals of Wimbledon when she played against Anisimova. Anisimova is one of the players that is able to play at a crazy high pace, and that's why she's been able to beat her. The challenge is high, of course. Especially if you think about the quality of the serve and the quality of the return of Sabalenka, but it's doable. Svitolina will have to be really have a high percentage of first serve, because on every second serve she'll be under pressure, and she'll have to find a way to also exploit all the second serves of Sabalenka to start moving her at a high pace. Never let her set her feet in the ground and boom, hit the ball with power, because then she's the best in the world for sure. So that will be what it's about. We have a few also statistics that I'd like to share with you before the match starts, and it's going to start in 7 seconds. The warm-up is finished in 7 seconds. So that's all the serves percentage of both players. And as we can see they're really, really close everywhere, except in the percentage of first serve, where Sabalenka Sabalenka is way higher than Svitolina. I mean, also due to her height. She's a 1 meter 82 player, so she's really, really tall. That, of course, is a big advantage when it comes to serving a high percentage of first serves. But otherwise, she's good. They're very, very close everywhere. Sabalenka is better. Svitolina is a bit better in terms of returns in play, and that will be very important today, as Sabalenka's first serve is super efficient and powerful. And she's a little bit better also when it comes to percentage of second returns won. That will be key as well, as we just spoke about it. We have a second page that's going to come soon, I guess. And the match is starting at the moment with Sabalenka. She's going to serve first. Just going to watch the first point. And amazing forehand winner of Svitolina, who's been extremely successful in that area of her game against Coco. So how Svitolina uses a forehand could be, perfect. We have the first point, who's all about her forehand, pivotal in that match because her forehand speed is super high. We've just seen it on the first point, 121 kilometers per hour, which is almost the same as Sabalenka, but not many players hit the ball as fast as Sabalenka. Both can peak over 125, and when the ball comes that fast, Sabalenka misses 36% of the time, so that's why it's going to be a key, and she will miss even more. Oh, that's a completely missed drop shot and a completely missed forehand. It's sad because it was a big opportunity for Svitolina. We're going to show you a poll. Hi, Linda. Welcome to the chat and to the stream. Yeah, we're going to also, as we did in the previous match, there is a poll that is asking you who you think is going to win that match. Yeah, and the emotional part will play a role because, when Svitolina plays the top ones, in general, she's not always able, not to say most of the time, she's not able to really play her chance. She misses things and opportunities, like we've seen in the drop shot, for example. On the drop shot of Sabalenka, this forehand, at that level, when you want to beat those players, you don't miss those shots. And talking about nerves, we spoke about the nerves of Sabalenka. She's really struggling with herself a lot, especially when the matches are tight and the big matches. That's her weakness. It played a role in major moments, and we see that at the start of the match, she has nerves. She misses. The drop shot was completely missed. Then she missed a forehand, and she just missed a backhand, but by very far. So this might play a role if Svitolina is able to stay with her and push her and hit winners and move her and put her in trouble. She can start to miss and get really nervous. Hi to everyone on the chat and on the stream. Thank you for following. Breakpoint Svitolina, that's the second one. The first one was saved by the beautiful forehand winner of Sabalenka. And when we talk about movement, I said Sabalenka's weakness is the movement, but Svitolina is a very good mover on the other hand. Hi, Holy BSTRD. You just got my book and my audio version. Thank you for that. And you thank me for taking the time to write it, but it was really a pleasure to share with you guys all the lessons, life lessons that can be so useful for everyone. Yes, Exwalitic. I wrote 3 books actually. That's and Holly is talking about the third one. And actually, if you go to my Instagram page, I posted today. I don't know if you see, but I guess you do. My book, Champion Mindset. No, it's not a sports book. It's a life book, but it's a life book that is using life lessons from what I experienced and learned with the biggest champions of our sport. 15-all, different match from the previous one also for Svitolina, because when you play against Coco, who's an amazing player, but she has different qualities than Sabalenka, and you hit her forehands. A lot of times the ball comes back with a lot of spin, and you have more time to organize. Sabalenka takes time away from you. She doesn't give you any time to organize. She just hits you hard every time she touches the ball. Second serve, danger, and double fault from Svitolina. She knows that every time she's going to hit a second serve, she's going to be in danger because Sabalenka will take advantage every time, and she'll be offensive every time on every second serve. And Svitolina will have to take more risks than usual because she'll have to open up the court at a high pace all the time. Second serve, she really went for it, but she missed. Yeah, a few unforced errors from Sabalenka in the start of the match, but a lot of winners already, and more winners than unforced errors. Svitolina's second serve, which is quite fast, 165 kilometers per hour. That's new to her game. For Sabalenka, those drop shots, it's really a shot she was not using at all in the past, and now she does more and more. Svitolina is a great mover, so this drop shot for the moment, 2 drop shots. The first one was completely missed. This one was not. But again, Svitolina is a fast player. Yeah, it's going to be Aimumbo and Kevin Court. Hello. It's going to be a lot about the ability to Svitolina to move Sabalenka at a high pace. Forget about the center of the court. But then moving Svitolina at a high pace is one of the most difficult things to do in women's tennis these days. So that's a big challenge. And that's a big challenge because you don't have a lot of opportunities. Crypto Basilu, hello. The no-go zone is the center of the court or of course, short. The goal is to avoid for Sabalenka to be set in the ground, to make her move all the time at a high pace and rush her. That's a good return. Was centered, but super deep and fast. To answer your question, ex-Waitik. In tennis, you're right. We have to be quiet, like the crowd has to be quiet during the points. It's the opposite of what's happening in most of the other sports. Deep, a little dip, but was a good shot. Hi, bring a cupcake official. Welcome. Yeah, compared to football, compared to basketball. And that's also, I always say that tennis is the only sport in which people pay for a ticket to be told to shut up, which is true. How many times do you hear shh, shh, please? In my tennis tour, which I created in 2020 called UTS, everybody's allowed to speak, shout, and move anytime, even during the points. And I can tell you because I had 17 out of the top 20 players who have already participated into my tennis league. It's not a problem for anyone. It's just, tennis is very conservative. So what people are used to, they don't want to change it. They refuse to change it. Very, very conservative. So UTS changed everything, and for the good, because it's way more modern. And my goal was to create something that would be great for the younger generation and bring those young people to watch tennis and become fans, which they're not at the moment. I also like my office at Muratoglu Academy in the French Riviera with a lot of coaching moments. You see here Grigor Dimitrov when I was coaching him. Grigor Dimitrov when I was coaching him. Oh, that's fun. I didn't know it was doing this. On the other side, I'm with Pavlyuchenkova here, and two with when I was coaching Serena. One on the extreme on my right with Stefanos Tsitsipas and his father that I did coach during the ATP Finals when he won the ATP Finals. So yes, a lot of my collaborations are on that wall. You don't see all of them because there are many more over the TV. I have one on the right that you don't see with Naomi Osaka, Simona Halep. What else do I have? Oh, another one with Serena. Amazing. This one, I love it. One with Coco Gauff. Yeah, it's basically 20 years of work as a coach on the tennis tour. Wow, that's really well played by Svitolina. Oh la la, what a point. Unbelievable. And actually Svitolina is laughing because she played so well. So second serve of Svitolina, of course, danger. Every time Sabalenka goes forehand cross court, full power. I don't know how Svitolina manages to hit the ball back. Great drop shot. Wrong footing Svitolina, who finally can reach that ball and hit an incredible passing shot, forehand cross court. What a shot. She's shocked herself by that she has been able to hit that passing shot. Sabalenka really dominant in the rally, and she's going to close the point with an overhead normal. Yeah, exactly what we expected. When is UTS Tour starting? The next one will be in Nîmes, which is south of France. It's in an antique stadium that is old, 2,000 years old. Believe me, that's unbelievable. And it's a 12,500 seats antique stadium. We were packed last year, completely packed, and that's amazing. And we're gonna have amazing players participate. As always, by the way, I'm gonna show you something. For the moment, I think Svitolina is a little bit too passive, and so it doesn't totally depend on her. It depends too much on the mistakes of Sabalenka, which are unforced errors. You can depend on the mistakes of Sabalenka if you move her at a fast pace and make her miss. It's more that it's Sabalenka that is dictating most of the time. And again, a forehand winner on the return from Sabalenka on a first serve of Svitolina. Just to say that for the moment, Sabalenka is making the winners and the unforced errors, 9 winners and 5 unforced errors. For Sabalenka, only 2 winners and 3 unforced errors from Svitolina. and I think those figures show that she's a little bit passive. But for the moment, she's still alive. Yeah, so that's the Instagram page of UTS, and this is the Antique Stadium of last year. But I have better things to show you. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? 3-1 for Sabalenka. Look at that. That's the Antique Stadium I was talking to you about. Look at that. No, this is another guy. And this is what UTS looks like. We have a DJ on the court. Yeah, it's almost sold out. We sold out every time, but it's like a huge party also. That's how we call it, by the way. Tennis like never before. In terms of cities, we go to Hong Kong, we went to New York, to Los Angeles, London, Frankfurt, Hong Kong, Guadalajara. We went to Oslo also, where Casper Ruud played. And again, one of the 20 best players in the world, 17 have played UTS so far. Second serve, that's good from Svitolina. She attacked the second. Oh no. You know, this is the things why Svitolina doesn't beat the best players ever. She always loses to those ones. Because look, 2 times in that match already, on important points that would give her 2 break points. She hits a great return. She has the ball in the box, super slow. Like, all the options are open. She chooses the worst one, drop shot, like Sabalenka is almost inside the court, drop shot in her direction, and she misses it. And same at the start of the match. She really had the occasion to come back in that match, and she gives it back to Sabalenka, and now it's just a game point for 4-1 for Sabalenka. I mean, at that level, when you play those players, you can do that. You know, you hit a good shot, you have the ball in the box, slow, you just put it away, no discussion. Why so complicated? So in her career, she's often been in quarters, in semis of Grand Slams, but the last stages she doesn't make because of this. If you want to win Grand Slam, you have to be a killer, a killer. This is not a killer move. Sabalenka is a killer. Swiatek is a killer. Coco is a killer. Puts the ball away. She goes full power. Okay, 4-1 Sabalenka. Completely logic. Which player is going to play UTS in Nîmes? The ones already announced. Sabalenka 15 love. So we already have for UTS in Nîmes in April, just before Monte Carlo. And we are 3 hours drive from Monte Carlo. We have Felix Auger-Aliassime, Casper Ruud, Hugo Humbert, Sasha Bublik, and Andrei Rublev. It's going to be 8 players in total. We play only with top guys, and the next ones are not announced yet. There are 3 missing. We're going to announce them soon. Second serve, and Sabalenka aggressive always, but she misses. But that's dedication. That's what high level is about. It's like, that's my game. I do it. Do I miss it? Okay. I'm going to try not to miss next one, but I'm going to still go for it. Good first serve. She had the hand in the rally, Svitolina, but she lost it. And when she slowed down, of course, every time Sabalenka hits a winner. Svitolina is playing way too central. I hope it's not a tactics, because if so, that's a terrible one. Because, she plays everything in the center, and Sabalenka is the one opening. She should try to do the opposite. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy, but why would she play everything in the center of the court? It makes no sense. We have a statistic that we're going to show soon. Shows how much Sabalenka is like fully playing her chance. That's the thing. So at the Australian Open, since the start of the tournament, she has been serving at 173 kilometers per hour. Today, she's up to 181 kilometers per hour average. And then serve plus 1 winners, Australian Open, she's done it 17% of the time. Today, 44. But again, if the ball comes back in the center, it's easy for her. She loves that. She loves that, to have the time to set and then go full. The only way is the same as Muguruza was the same. If you give her the time to be set, she's going to hit a winner. But if you move her constantly at a fast pace, then it's a different story. Yeah, the changeover of slow second serve, and she gets killed by Sabalenka. Like, this is about commitment. And you look at Sabalenka, the great thing with her is commitment all the time. That's my game. I do it. That's my game. I miss a forehand. It's okay. It doesn't affect me. I'm going to still do it. Go full next one. Deuce, second serve. This one was deep center, was better because on the return, Sabalenka was inside the court. And as Svitolina took the ball early and played deep, she pushed Sabalenka to have to move backwards and hit her shot moving backwards. An ace from Svitolina, who's coming back to 2-4 in that first set. No, in UTS, you're allowed to smash your racket, and, it's way more open. I'm not a rules guy. Of course, we need to have some kind of rules. We cannot accept everything, but I like freedom. I like people to be free. Actually, at the end of the day, they're responsible for what they do and who they are, and if they're disliked for their behavior, that's their problem. I don't like people who put puts on rules and gives lessons. And I have a question from Bring a Cup of Cake, who's asking me if I think we should change the female sets from 3 to 5. Absolutely, we should. 100%. Can women play in 5 sets? Of course they can. And that would close the discussion, a piece of the discussion about equal prize money. Guys say we work way more. We play 5 sets, they play only 3. Okay. That would close the problem of the night sessions in Roland Garros. We cannot put a woman in night session because it can be 6-1, 6-1 in 40 minutes. And people pay for a ticket just for one match. We'll be in trouble. Okay, they play 5 sets, then it's different. So I 100% think it should be 5 sets. And women would show that they can do it. And I know they can. So, I agree. I understand why, someone said Sabalenka is definitely the better player. Bring a cupcake official. Yeah, if you play everything center, she's a better player. Now, if you move her fast again, it's different. But she's definitely the better player. She's number 1 in the world. But on one match, it can be different if the opponent has the right tactics. It's true for every single match and is able that day to apply it fully and successfully. But the first thing to do is to have the right tactics. If you don't have the right tactics and you play the best player in the world, even if you play a very good match, your chances are extremely low. Actually, I was the first one to bring coaching on court at UTS. Yeah, and Svitolina misses that backhand return, not even going for much, but her body weight went sideways. Okay, do we have some footage of UTS to show? That would be amazing now. It's the changeover, 5-2 Sabalenka. For the moment, the match is one-sided. And while we watch that,
to Bastide Medical UTS Nîmes from one of the most spectacular venues in the world.
That's insane,
this is
no?
One of the best
That's where we
Roman
play.
Monuments, but
In that 12,500 seats, 22,000 years old stadium in the south of France in April.
12,517
as you see, Rude.
fans
Ben Shelton
are in
played
this
last year.
wonderful venue, and boy, have they turned
The atmosphere
up
is
at the right
unreal.
time.
Unreal. The crowd actually even sang the national anthem during the point last year when it was a match between Monfils, also Monfils and Humbert, and also the players are interviewed at the changeover. Every changeover, actually almost every changeover, players are interviewed during the match and they're asked about their performance. That's the national anthem. The players stopped to play and went together to sing with the crowd.
Great shot.
It's a completely different experience than traditional tennis.
It is time for our Bastide Medical UTS Nîmes final. Casper Ruud
And
against
guys,
Thomas Mahatch.
you will love it. Trust me, if you come once, you'll be back, and that's why every year we have more people. We have bigger stadiums, and we will always fill them up because once people come to This Is Mahatch, when people come, and it's a prize money based only, so it's not an exhibition. Players play really full because they don't make money when they lose early. The further they go, the more money they make, so they're really motivated to play fully. There is also a card that they can use once per quarter that gives them an advantage if they win the point. I don't know why Svitolina is so scared to miss today. She plays everything down the center, everything. And Ruud won it last year, 4, 5, 4 and 5th of April. And 3 set points for Sabalenka to win 6-2, this first set. Yeah, go to UTS or watch it live, second serve. Yeah, and I just saw 75% of points won by Sabalenka on her second serve. That's not a good figure. She just shows that Svitolina is too passive. Every second serve is an occasion, and she hit one amazing forehand down the line on return, and the rest she was putting the ball in. So lucky forehand. Actually, that was better. That's one of the only shots since the start of the match that Svitolina hit cross-court with a good angle. So she was in a position to hit a winner on the second serve already. Great backhand cross-court winner. 6-2 Sabalenka. If Svitolina's coach doesn't have a good discussion with her, and it's going to be a 6-2 loss with basically with 10 unforced errors and 10 winners from Svitolina the whole match. Svitolina has to show the same dedication to being aggressive. If she doesn't, I think she can book her ticket back straight away. And the second set starts now. with Sabalenka serving. Second serve. I prefer that, you know. Svitolina hits a return with intention and she misses. It's fine. I mean, that's the game. I know it's not easy for her because that's not her game. She likes to build. She doesn't like to be too aggressive. But, you know, at some point, when it comes to the last stages of the Grand Slam, you have to go and get the match. You have to go and win the match. So you have to dictate. You have to take the risks and to accept that there is the backside of the coin, which is I can miss. Yes, but if I just try to not miss, then I'm going to lose. It's going to be a second serve. Last time she played a second serve. Svitolina hit a backhand down the line winner. What's going to happen this time? Center of the court. She's lucky that Sabalenka misses it. So she has the break. Svitolina breaks first in that second set, 1-0. So why coaching on court? Again, UTS did it first. It was in 2020. And I'm happy that it influenced the Australian Open and influenced the ATP that accepted coaching, so the coaches are not on the court, but now coaching is authorized. Yeah, I mean, I know tennis people, conservative tennis people are super proud to say we're the only sport without coaching, so the players have to think by themselves. Yeah, but it's a denial of what sport is about. Sport is about coaching. Every single sport in the history have been about performing and for the athletes and coaching for the coach, and it's a winning combo. That's what it is. The players, of course, they are the ones playing, but they need the right coach to do the career that they can make, and that's the coaches play a major role. And to be denied, for us coaches, to be denied the possibility to do our job during the matches, for me sounds crazy. And again, what is great is that it brings amazing moments. You know, coaching moments can be super inspiring, super exciting. The interactions between coach and player are very interesting because you get to know the player better. You understand better the strategies. I think it brings a lot to the show in itself. Actually, Nadal was saying we pay coaches all year long to be able to make us better, and the moment we need them the most, they're not allowed to do their job. That's crazy. And I agree with that. And I think, so that's my point about coaching. Yeah. And I think another interesting thing is the coaches. So we started UTS and they're mic'd up during the match. So on TV, you hear what they say to their player. And they're sitting on the court and I tell them, okay, talk. I mean, do your job as much as you want. You are allowed to do whatever. You can even stand up, give the towel to your player, talk to him between points, no problem. They don't do it. Why they don't do it? Because they have their whole career been prevented from talking, and they don't have the reflex to talk. The only one who did talk all the time was amazing. It was Brian Shelton, the father of Ben, because he used to coach in the US, in the universities, in college tennis, and there coaching is fully allowed, so he's used to coaching a lot. Okay, so Svitolina's back to center court, everything in the center, boom. She loses the point, love 15. And I'm fearing the fact that Svitolina, now that she has the break, will come back to her previous strategy, which is the losing one. That's way better, you know. That's way better. That's a very good return from Sabalenka and 2 break points to come back. Brian was talking every single point. And at the Australian Open, same. He was very, very vocal because he's used to, and there is a lot of motivation in the way he talks. Motivation for Ben. And Ben, who used to play college, is very used to also receiving a lot of coaching. So that's why it works so well. Short from Sabalenka, but Svitolina doesn't take advantage of it. And again, Sabalenka dictates and wins the point easily. Break back to all and the roar of Sabalenka. Yes, Steve Aru. That was amazing at UTS. That was the last match of Dominic Thiem when he played UTS. Where was it, by the way? Was it? I think it was Frankfurt. So Dominic Thiem did a speech, a goodbye speech. It was great, actually. And Brian, the father of Ben Shelton, was with the players. All the players came on the court for it was in Frankfurt for the last match of Thiem, and that was very emotional. And then Brian said something to the players, and they all went to Dominic Thiem and they lift him up. That was amazing. I have goosebumps. That was an amazing moment. Amazing. But now that the Australian Open has done that, I think it's going to inspire tournaments. But again, tennis is so conservative. For the love, thank you, Stefaru, to remind me that moment. We had also the last match of Gasquet, which was incredible. It was in Guadalajara. 3-2 Sabalenka. I think we're going to take the direction that I expected, which will be 2 straight sets, actually quite easy straight set for Sabalenka, as I see that the moment Svitolina really opens the court and accepts the idea that maybe she's going to miss, but takes the risk and commits to it, they are too rare. I mean, even if she does it, I'm not sure she's going to win. I mean, it's going to be, but at least she's going to make the match difficult for Sabalenka. But I mean, she does it, but occasionally she has to do it with full commitment every single point. And as she doesn't, I think she has zero chance then. We'll be finishing the match anyway. And then we have another good one with the Pegula against Rybakina. And I'm happy for Rybakina that, you know, I was talking about the importance of coaching, but look, the example of Rybakina is amazing. So she has a coach for many years. She is super successful. She's Grand Slam winner. She's playing an amazing tennis and she has an amazing career. And then the WTA decides that the coach is not good for her because he doesn't speak. That's what they say. The way he speaks to her is not acceptable. That's what they decide, just based on comments of people. So they decide to ban him from being on tour for a year, I think so. Rybakina is shocked and she says, listen, it's great for me. I'm happy with him. I'm doing so well. Everything that is said, I disagree. By people are saying this in my back to WTA. Please don't ban him. They ban him. The whole year she doesn't make good results, Rybakina. She's really struggling. And after the ban is over and the coach is back on track, she starts to do very well again. So I'm happy for her. I think WTA just wasted 1 year of her career, which I think she should sue them for that because it's not acceptable. And who are those people who decide for you what is good or not good for you? She's over 18 years old. I think she's 26. She should be able to make her own decision and not, people decide for you what is good or not for you. That's really strange, not to say more. Yeah, so she's finally doing well again. She won the WTA championship, beating Sabalenka in the final, Pegula in the semis, Swiatek, Anisimova. It's not too bad, huh? Okay, we have a statistics. That's what I was looking at. So we're gonna look at it. It's actually not a statistics. It's more than that. It's the impact of the balls of Svitolina against Sabalenka today. So where do the balls land? And it's just explaining quite well what I was talking about. So you'll see on that court, you have all the impacts of the ball, how they land. Yeah, that's good for Svitolina. She opened the court, boom, she wins the point straight away. Okay, look, all the red dots is the shots that when Svitolina lost the point, and the yellow ones she won the point. So you see every time she plays central, she's losing 80-90% of the points. And if you look on the forehand side, every time she opened up the court to the forehand of Sabalenka, I mean, not all the time, but 90% of the time, she's winning the point. But look, I mean, most of the dots are central and short, actually, which makes it even worse. Okay, that's the last chance of Svitolina. 15-30 on Sabalenka's serve in this second set. Return central, finished 30-all. But that was not easy. That was a good serve. Huh? She did what she could, but not enough. It's a good question from Steve Farou about... all the players have won easy, qualified for the semifinals quite easily on the men's side and on the women's side. Is it a coincidence? That's a good question. Actually, for Sabalenka, no, because I think she's very dominant. I would say for the three others, yes, we expected way closer matches, but yeah, she ended up winning in 2 every time. And on the men's side, zero surprise for Sinner. That's a great return. Elina, great return. She opened the court, winner on the return. Great. Sinner, no surprise. Alcaraz, no surprise. And the Zverev match was very close, I think, and Djokovic too, because he was 2 sets to love down. I think coaching is modern, but it's also history. Oh, no, there is a super negative... Ziazia Rianian. What happens to you, my friend? Why you're so negative? Oh, no. I mean, take a breath, go for a run, do something. And we have a very tough statistic for Elina Svitolina in her Grand Slam semifinals so far. All the ones she played. That's the scores of all the sets. I mean, she never won one. And these are the scores. 6-1, 6-3, 6-3, 6-1, 6-3, 6-3, 6-2 so far. And we might have another 6-2 or 6-3 today. Yeah. When it comes to the big matches, to get to the last stage, she hasn't been able to be efficient. And I believe, which is something I said from the start, that it has to do with, taking the responsibility fully, going for her shots, deciding that I'm going to dictate and win the points, which she did so well against Coco in quarters. But she's in the semis today, she doesn't do it. Of course, what she does is way enough when you play the first rounds most of the time. But when you get to big matches, you can't. You have to take full responsibility. 5 winners, 5 enforced errors, same. It's too flat. That's way better. Way better. Study love. I mean, yeah, of course, there are bad coaches. There are also bad players. There are bad chair umpires. Yeah. Now, do you need to have been a professional player to be a good coach? I think no. I think it's the soft skills are so important. And a lot of top players have or even good players have zero soft skills. I mean, you need to understand the game extremely well, of course, but you can understand the game extremely well without having been a professional player. Of course, you need to know how to play tennis. That's important. You have to have played competition at a good level. That's important. But a lot of ex-players are terrible coaches. A lot of ex-players are great coaches. Magnus Norman, for example, is an ex-player who's an amazing coach who did an incredible job with Stan Wawrinka. And there are others, of course, but there are also some great coaches who haven't been great players. It's not a necessity. These are cliché. You have to be an ex-player, otherwise you cannot be a coach. Jose Mourinho, who used to be the GOAT in coaching in football, was never a very good football player. 5-3 for Sabalenka, who's going to serve for the match. And that's the last chance for Svitolina to go for your shots. Open the court. Move Sabalenka. Tell her you don't want to die now. You want to survive a little bit more. 2 return misses from Svitolina, and I don't call that a good miss because, again, she played central. Okay, I didn't know it was that hot today. Oh la la. That's such a weird forehand from Sabalenka. I don't know why she did this one. That's it. 6-2, 6-3 win for Sabalenka. No discussion. The match was completely one-sided, and we're going to have Sabalenka in final again. I mean, how consistent is this player in her results? That's really amazing. And it's due to her willpower, such a strong mindset. I remember when she was younger, when she was like something like 18 in the world, I knew the coach that was working with her. He just started a few months ago and he was telling me, she's crazy. I said, why you say she's crazy? She's crazy. She thinks she's going to be number one. She thinks she's incredible. She's crazy. And I was thinking, but she's right. I mean, if she doesn't think she's going to be number one, who's going to think that? Definitely not you, clearly, but, that's the right mindset. I mean, and that's why also she is where she is. Oh, yes, Svitolina didn't shake the hand of Sabalenka because of this, to me, completely stupid thing. I'm Ukrainian, you are from Belarus, so I cannot shake your hand. Like not putting the flag. I don't mix politics with sports. I don't like it. Sorry. I'm very, very straightforward. That's who I am. I think it's every time you're going to mix politics with sports, you're going to take wrong decisions. Like when Wimbledon decided not to allow Russian players to play. My God, what have they done? They were born in Russia. That's all they did wrong. I mean, they played, they practiced, they worked all their life to be able to play those tournaments, and you punish them? That's ridiculous for me. Ridiculous decision. Thankfully, they ended up changing their mind because of the pressure they received. But, I mean, someone needs to pay for crimes. I mean, you think Sabalenka or Medvedev need to pay for crimes? What did they do? Why you punish those people? This is ridiculous for me. So I don't like this attitude. I don't like it. Anyway, let's not finish on negative comments. Impressive from Sabalenka. Once again, played the match he was supposed to play and showed that being so focused and so intentional whenever you hit the ball, you can become really an amazing player. She's the number one. There is a reason for that. Last year, she failed in the final, but she's back this year. And I think she will do everything she can to this time win it. Who does she want to play in the final? I mean, she definitely would prefer to play against Pegula because Rybakina beat her very often, even several times last year. She's struggling against her because Rybakina is serving big, so it's difficult for Sabalenka to be aggressive on the serve, and she's very aggressive on the return, and she's moving the ball extremely fast, moving the ball around, so she plays the right tactics, and that's her game. So that's why she's always causing troubles to Sabalenka. But anyway, we don't know, and we're gonna know soon. So we're gonna commentate that second final. I see you very soon for that, and we'll know who Sabalenka is gonna face in the final on Saturday. Thank you for following. Thank you for spending time on that stream, and I see you very soon for the second semifinal of the women's draw of this Australian Open. Hi back for that second semifinal of the Australian Open in the women's draw between the American Pegula and the Kazakhstan player Elena Rybakina. The first semifinal was being won by Sabalenka very comfortably, 6-2, 6-3. And we expect a closer match today. I mean, today. The other one was today too. At the moment, between those two players, and it's going to be, an interesting head-to-head because I think that both of the players have the ability to win this match. It's more open than the previous one because they have very different qualities. So let's talk about that first to have a short preview as the match is just starting now. So Rybakina first. What are Rybakina's qualities? First of all, she has a big serve, one of the best serves on tour, especially her first serve, and she scores a lot of winners with her serve, a lot of aces. She definitely has one of the best serves, if not the best currently. In the game, she likes to punch. She's a bit like Sabalenka. She's playing flatter than Sabalenka. She has an amazing backhand. She's a player who likes to play, of course, shorter rallies. She can play longer rallies if necessary, but as she's a puncher, she likes to win the point in this spot between 0 and 4 shots. Actually, it should be 1 and 4 shots, not 0, but it's called 0-4. She's not a great mover, but every time she hits the ball, she hurts. On the other hand, you have a player, and she's tall, which is a big advantage, of course, for the serve. On the other hand, a player, Pegula, who's shorter, she's a player who has she plays very flat too. She has an amazing timing. She also is able to hurt when she hits the ball, but she's using the pace of the opponent. So what she likes the most is players who give her pace. If you slow down the rhythm, change the rhythm a lot, she doesn't like as much, but it's not the game of Rybakina. Rybakina, again, plays at a very high pace. She's great at using the pace and redirecting the ball and moving the opponent. She's not a player like Svitolina in her previous match, who would play center and build and wait. She's not waiting. She's also opening the court more. So that's why I'm saying she has the shots to annoy Rybakina's game if she's able to move her at a fast pace, and that will be the key in that match. Of course, she will be in danger on her serve, especially on the second serves, because Rybakina is going to be very aggressive. Rybakina, who just won her service game without dropping a single point. So serve and return will be important because, if Rybakina is in a position to hit a winner, she will. If she's not, then it will be an option every time for Pegula to move her and make her suffer in the rallies. So the first shot of the points will be very important, whether it's first or second serve, whether it's Pegula or it's Rybakina in both cases. We have a few statistics, so let's go through them. So it's going to be, as I just said, a serve battle, of course. Both have won 75% of their first serve points, and both 60% of first serves in. But, and as you can see, the but is big. So what is the but about? Rybakina's average speed serve is 184 kilometers per hour, only 164 for Pegula. Only 51% of Rybakina's serves are returned. Pegula 61. And Rybakina plays a serve +1 from inside the court 49% of the time. Pegula only 25. This just highlights the difference of serve quality, and if Pegula wins 75% of her first serve points, it's also because she's great from the baseline. It's not so much because the serve gives her a huge advantage, which is the case for Rybakina. We have a second page, and we see already a lot of pace in the rallies, and a first break point for Rybakina straight away in the first service game of Pegula. So in the quarterfinals between Pegula, I was right. In the quarterfinals between Pegula and Anisimova, yes, that's an interesting one, by the way. Pegula has sprinted more just in her quarterfinals match against Anisimova than Rybakina in all the tournament. So she made 30 sprints just in the quarterfinal, and the whole tournament Rybakina has made only 28 sprints. What does it say? It says that Pegula loves to play at a high pace and run and move and make the opponent move, where Rybakina loves to close the points. So she's dictating and she doesn't have to run much. She plays fast, she plays deep, and whenever she has the opportunity to hit a winner down the line, she goes for it. And I propose you at the changeover to hear also a piece of Rybakina's press conference while she speaks about this match and what she makes of that future match, which is happening now. And actually, that's why Rybakina's beating Sabalenka so often and even twice last year is because of her game style. She's playing fast, deep, and opens the court a lot, and she serves well, so it's difficult for Sabalenka to be aggressive off Rybakina's serve. Cupcake is asking why US doesn't have more tennis players in the top 30, considering how much money is invented there. I think you're tough with American tennis, especially for the women. I think they're doing amazing. First of all, they were 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8 in the quarterfinals. So 50% of the quarterfinalists were Americans. Not too bad. And if I look at the WTA ranking, which I am doing at the moment, we have Gauff, number 3 in the world, American. Anisimova, number 4 in the world, American. Then you have Pegula, number 6 in the world, American. Then you have Keys, number 9 in the world, American. Then Navarro, 15, American. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 Americans in the top 10 in the world. Not one other country can say that. And actually, I don't think there are any country who has even 2 in the top 10. Maybe Russia. No, Russia, there is Andreeva, and that's it. No. Not any other country has two players in the top 10, WTA. And you have 4 Americans. So I think it's not too bad for American tennis. She's getting coaching at the moment. I see the coach doing this a lot, probably telling her to slice the serve more. She answered him and she's laughing. I don't think what she said was nice. If I look at the face of the coach that he did after she spoke. So we have 2 completely different opinions. Mombo is saying that I think the conversation between the coach and the player shouldn't be broadcasted. Lol. An email from a chair said interesting conversation with the coach there. Yeah, of course it's interesting. Very interesting. Do we have the interview maybe that Rybakina gave during the press conference when she was talking about her future match against Pegula? That's interesting.
Before the tournament, so basically we know each other well, as much as I know well and she knows me well, Jessica, so it's 2 different types of the game, I would say, but the most important for me to be focused on my serve, since it's a big advantage if it works, and stay aggressive in the rallies, and let's see who's gonna win. She's very experienced opponent, and she moves well, and also her ball stays quite low, so that makes a bit difficult sometimes to play her. But I will try to adjust, and we'll see who's gonna win. I talk with my team. We make some plan for the match, and we'll try to do my best, definitely.
Yeah, something I didn't say, by the way, she's totally right. Her ball is really low. Her ball stays low for 2 reasons. First, because she's not very tall. She plays quite low over the net, and she plays flat. So the ball is very low and flat. And it's always difficult to attack those balls. And that's why also another reason why she likes grass, by the way. And she's a good mover, and she's on tour for a while now. She played a Grand Slam final already, so she has experience of the big stages and the last stages of the Grand Slams. Mumbo is bringing back this controversy after Coco was filmed breaking her racket and not thinking she would be filmed. Swiatek saying in press conference, "Are we tennis players or zoo animals?" But why didn't you finish the sentence? Because then Swiatek added, "Who are filmed when they poop." Mumbo is saying that I am a private person, and if I were a pro player, I would like some private space to decompress after a match. I completely understand. Listen, it's always the same on all those questions. There are 2 sides, there are 2 different point of views, and I think both are understandable. Players want privacy, and of course, the fans want behind the scenes. They want to know what's happening. That's super interesting. And even I'm not saying that for bad reasons. It's interesting to see how the players prepare, to understand their strategy, to see the interaction with the coaches. All these things are very interesting. Also, even the interactions between players are interesting. And I think it's the modern way. You know what? Sports is a show. We are into the era of social media, and people want to see more and more behind the scenes, and it's normal. And when you're a professional tennis player, you're not only a sports person, you're also a public person, and you have to accept this is part of the job, and you have to accept also to be filmed and filmed often, because you have to also satisfy the fans who need that. Now, to have some private moments, of course, you need them. I think there should be a place where a player can decide to freak out after a match and break rackets if he or she needs it. And I understand the point of Coco on that. But I think to complain and to say we are like animals in a zoo, it's a bit too much. I think you have to accept also that it's part of your job. You know, like doing the press conference, it's part of the job. Doing appearance for your sponsor, part of the job, and you have something in return. It's not for free, you know? So, and you're right, players want visibility and sponsors for the marketing. So it's a question of balance, of course. But actually, during UTS, we put camera in the locker room. Of course, we have the okay of the players to do it. Of course, we don't put a camera. We come with the camera, and they have to agree with it, with their consent. That's the word I was looking for. And you know what? We had unbelievable moments, and the players were really thankful that we could capture those moments for them. Unbelievable return, a bit lucky from Rybakina. Pegula hit a body serve super fast. She just put the racket back and it went and ended up being a winner down the line. Yeah, Pegula's rolling her eyes after her conversation with the coach. That's something she's really a professional at, which I don't think it's a good attitude, you know. It's kind of disrespectful for me. And, you know, connect with your coach rather than doing like what you say is not interesting. If that's what you think, then find another coach. But I don't think it's about the coach. It's more about her frustration and her way to deal with it. I don't like people who behave with disrespect. She's completely allowed to be frustrated, and I understand totally, but it's not good enough explanation for a disrespectful behavior. I understand your point, I'm Umbo, about in football, managers and players who fight. I don't think fighting with your player is a good thing to do. I think you need to build trust and build respect rather than build fight. Second serve again, but set point for Rybakina, 5-3 up. Great backhand cross from Rybakina, forces the short ball, comes in, finishes. Great first set for Elena Rybakina, except the percentage of first serve, which is extremely low. She's usually around the 70s, and she's at 48 today, so that's really, really low, but it doesn't affect her because her kick serve is amazing, a second serve, and against Pegula so far, it's she wins more points on her second serve than on her first. So, you know. 8 winners for 7 unforced errors for Rybakina. Only 4 winners and 9 unforced errors for Pegula. So, kind of logic. 3 break points. Elena, only 0 for Pegula. 1 break, and that's enough to win the first set. Hi from Greece, and somebody asked me ex-Waitik from which island. I'm not from an island. My father is from Athens, and that's where I live now, and I'm extremely happy. The coach of Rybakina is telling her play return center, deep center, and is right because since the start it has been very effective. That's what she did. Ex-Waitik, you Greek and you've never been to Greece. Oh, that's going to be a shocker for you if you do. I always say when you go on holidays in Greece, it's going to be difficult for you to go anywhere else after that. Everything is amazing there. The weather, the beauty of the islands, the food is unbelievable everywhere, even in the smallest restaurants, and the people are the best. Greek people are so nice, so open. No, they have an unbelievable sense for hospitality, which is something and plus everybody speaks English very well in Greece, which is something that is missing a lot in the south of Europe in general. Italy, Spain. If you don't speak the language, most other people don't speak English, so it's more difficult. Yeah, I know there are a lot of Greeks in Australia. Actually, there's a funny thing is, do you know what is the city in the world with the biggest Greek population? Number 1, Athens. Number 2, Melbourne. Yeah, Melbourne is number 2. Yeah, true. For the first visit to Greece, you should definitely go to the islands. What is amazing in Greece is there are a lot of islands. I mean, an amazing number, thousands of islands, first of all. And second, they're in different regions and they're very different from each other. So all the groups of islands have a lot of similarities, but from one group to the other, it's really, really different. I don't know all the islands, of course, but I don't even know all the island groups. But I would advise to go to the most famous ones, which are the Cyclades, Cyclades, that's how you say in Greek. Yes, Cyclades. That's where you have Mykonos and Santorini, which are the 2 most famous islands in the world. But you have other islands that are fantastic. Milos, Paros, Antiparos. That's so beautiful. And you have ferries. Ferries, you have a departure every 30 minutes. So you can spend 2 days in an island, 2 other days in another one. They're very close to each other. So that's really cool to discover islands like this. Okay, let's refocus on the match. Sorry. If you ask me to talk about Greece, for me, it's difficult to stop. Rybakina struggling more, but still, she has a game point. Served a very good first serve at the moment, but she still struggles today. Tennis is getting more and more popular in Greece. Trust me, I'm living there and I see more and more clubs. There are more and more players that play. The success of Tsitsipas and Sakkari as, of course, a break point for Rybakina after volley not decisive from Pegula. Should have been, yes, that's true that Novak lived there. Actually, had a discussion with him when we were in Athens, both of us. And he also told me how much he loves it there. He made exactly the same comments as myself. People are incredibly nice. The food is amazing. The weather is amazing. It's beautiful. What else do we need? Great return from Rybakina, who breaks already in the second set. Lot of frustration from Pegula. I don't think it helps her. It's she's actually hitting her racket on her bag at the moment, but it's something she really can improve a lot on. The way she deals with her negative emotion is really not good in general in the matches, and I think she's pulling herself down a lot. That's such a key in tennis for the top profession. I mean, for everyone actually, to learn how to deal with your negative emotions, because the way you speak to yourself can really destroy you and pull you down during the match rather than pump you up. A lot of questions about my academies. Yeah, we have an academy in Malaysia that is actually unbelievable. Trust me, and we're opening Bali very soon. Actually, it just opened. She's not bad either. No, we don't have in New York. We had a plan, and unfortunately, it didn't work. But I have it in mind. I really want to do something in New York. That's such an amazing city. But we have a plan we're already in many cities in the U.S. We're in Naples. We're in San Francisco. We're in Atlanta. We're in Zephyr Hills, which is near Austin in Texas. Austin in Florida. And we have one in Texas also. And in Europe, we have one in Greece and one in Italy. Rybakina is still very dominant on her serve, kick serve. So the choice of Pegula was not to move forward on second serve, but more to move back, which works too, because once the ball hits the ground, then it goes down, and she can hit it at a lower, and she's more comfortable like this. Still 50% of serves in for Rybakina. Doesn't get any better, but she has 100% of points won after her first, but now she dropped to 20%. Now she's inside. Oh, she dropped to 20% on second serve. Look at the position of Pegula. She's ready to take this ball very early on second serve. Way better. Yeah, she moved her position to return second serves, as I said, and it's so much better. She's so much more comfortable, and she can be aggressive. First break point of Pegula. That's not a mistake from Rybakina, because Pegula did really well on moving her side to side and break back. Now the match starts to be more interesting. And look at this stat. 17% of points won by Rybakina on second serve. So you see how much one detail can affect so much the game. Pegula just changed her returning position, and from 80% of points won on second serve by Rybakina, she drops to 17. Crazy, no? So this is the figure. Rybakina used her forehand cross 88% of the time in that match so far, and Pegula has hit 12 errors after that. Rybakina is targeting the forehand of Pegula a lot, which is her weakness. And those 12 mistakes, why? Because of the quality of the forehand of Rybakina, because she plays, as we said, extremely deep and fast. So it's very difficult. A lot of times, as I said, the contact point of Pegula was too far back because she was caught, and this created an unforced error. Ooh, that's such a good second serve. Big risk. Pegula just protected herself, and this is a backhand mistake because, again, the backhand of Rybakina is so deep and so precise and so fast. That's amazing. And break again, not back. Rybakina broke first in that second set, get broken back, and just broke again. And if she wants to keep her service games, Rybakina will have to either find solution on second serves or improve her first. Pegula is, I don't know if she's low on energy, but she's frustrated, I can tell you. And when she's frustrated, in general, she doesn't do well. Oof, that's a big mistake from Rybakina, who at the time on this forehand. And do I think that Rybakina can beat Sabalenka? Of course she can. Actually, the last time they played was not so long ago. It was at the WTA finals, and Rybakina won. And I think I'm almost sure she beat her once again last year. And about the GOAT of women's tennis, I don't even know why there is a discussion. As I don't even know why there is a discussion on the men's side. It's Novak, without any doubt. He has all the possible records in this game, including the number of Grand Slams. And on the women's side, it's Serena without any doubt either. 4-2 Rybakina in that second set. And let's look at one statistic that we have. 0-4 rallies, it's Rybakina who wins more points, but only 52%. Now, when the rallies go more than 5 shots, Rybakina wins 74% of the rallies. And Rybakina to serve again. Very good first serve, but very good deep return from Pegula. But it was a slow return, and Rybakina hit a forehand winner. I think that Rybakina really improved on her forehand side. It has always been her weak side. I think she's doing way better. Net of raise, what would I say to Pegula if I was her coach? I said it in the first set already. I said, keep serving out wide a lot. It's okay to take time to take a bit of pace off, but increase your percentage of first serve by using more spin on your serve and out wide so you can open the court on the second shot and make Rybakina run straight away. Move your position on the return on second serves, which she did. Step in to take the ball earlier, so you put more pressure, and she does very well. Actually, the second set is much closer, I think. And in the game, I would tell her, don't keep playing forehand to forehand. Open the court earlier than your opponent all the time. Now, Pegula serving to try to stay in that match. What a return, and that's why it's important to mix the serve, because as she serves slice out wide a lot, Rybakina anticipated this one, went down the line, forehand winner. You can't let your opponent know where you're going to serve. Surprise and not being predictable is key in our sport. And you see what happened in this backhand of Rybakina? She slowed down the hands. And when you slow down, the ball escape. You need to keep the pace on your hands all the time. And we have a stat, very good serve body. We have a stat for that second serve. We can compare what happened in the first and the second. And I talked to you about the slice that Pegula used more in the second set with the backhand, but also with the forehand. We're going to have this statistic on the screen really soon. Second serve, forehand cross court, she kills her. Okay, Pegula sliced a lot, yes. She sliced 6% in the first set on the forehand, but 28% on the second set compared to 6. And on her backhand, she went from 25% of sliced backhand in the first set to 36 in the second. Ooh, that's a big miss, because the return of Rybakina was amazing. Deep center forehand. She had the short ball, but didn't take advantage of it. She has I was looking at the technique of Rybakina. Her technique is really amazing on both forehand and backhand. Oh, that's a big miss also from Pegula, who played really well in the rally. So Rybakina had to slice her forehand, and she had a backhand. She tried to hit down the line and missed it. Ooh la la. That's the first match point for Rybakina on Pegula's serve. That's exactly how Pegula should play. Played fast, took the ball early, took time away from Rybakina, who missed. Yeah, she put more energy on those shots. Backhand to backhand. Both backhands are great. Oh, and a forehand miss from Pegula on the run. That was not that difficult for her. And it's another match point for Rybakina. Missed her first serve. Danger. Good shot from Pegula, who was able to, even though she was attacked, to play a shot with quite a good pace, and that's why she won the point, because Rybakina wanted to run around her backhand, but it was late, so she was off balance, and her forehand went away. Oh my God, that's amazing, because the slice serve is really good, but as Rybakina expects it, she's able to be in a good position there and hit a forehand cross-court winner. An amazing one. And third match point, first, second, advantage, Pegula, and a good serve. Save her service game. Ooh, saving 3 match points. And that's good that she's still alive, because, as I always say, let your opponent have to serve for the match. A lot of times there are a lot of nerves there and everything can happen. So Rybakina is serving for the match, but she had 3 match points. So let's see if it affects her mindset. Oh, that's a big miss from Rybakina. And now a break point for Pegula to come back to 5-all. I told you, when you miss 3 match points, if the opponent is able to, push you in the first points on your service game, then the nerves can take you. And that's exactly what's happening. And it reminds me of something with Serena that I'm going to tell you right after this game. If Pegula breaks, good serve, slice forehand, and a big miss again from Rybakina. And we're back to 5-all. And now we'll see how much having had those 3 match points is going to affect Rybakina mentally. Her coach is talking to her. He knows his presence is very important now, so she doesn't get too angry. She finds a way to forget. Anyway, what is done is done. The only thing you can change is the future, so let's focus on that. So this is the story with Serena. So we start in 2012, and so she ends up the season super well, winning Wimbledon, US Open, the gold medal at the Olympics, and WTA Championship. They're tough to do better. And then start of 2013, she tells me my goal is to win Roland Garros because I've been struggling so much in that tournament for so long. I won in 2010. No. I won 10 years ago. That's what she said. In 2002. We're in 2013, so 11 years ago. And I can win it since that day. Can you make a plan, please, so for me to win it? So I made a plan. We went through the plan, and she's in the final of Roland Garros. She's playing Sharapova. She's up 6-4, 5-4 serving. And of course, as you can imagine, the stress comes like crazy strong because she's chasing that title for 11 years. And she's one game away from it. First point, she serves, the ball comes back, and she hits a forehand 2 meters out. Second point, she serves, the ball comes back, she hits a backhand 3 meters out. And then she tells me after the match, when I did this, I thought, oh my God, I cannot play. I'm way too nervous. I cannot hit a ball in the court. How am I going to win my service game? And this is where here she's the strongest in the history. And she had a big shot that was the serve. Love 30. Ace, 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 ace. Thank you very much. Game, set, and match. Serena Williams in the final of Wimbledon. 1540. Et voilà. Again, on the cross-court forehand, Rybakina is way better, and she's forcing the mistake again of Pegula on that side. And that's really strong of Rybakina to be able to straight away break again. Straight away. That's so strong mentally. After having 3 match points, serving for the match. And another break point now for Pegula to go back to 6-all. This match is a bit crazy. I mean, the second set looks like none of the players can win the service games now. How many breaks in that set? That's crazy. 3 and potentially 3 on the other side would be 6 breaks in that set. And remember at the start of the match, before I showed you the figures of the statistics, serve statistics of both players. They were so good. Oh, and a big mistake from Pegula. How did I know she would slice the second serve? For me, it was obvious she would, because every time she kicked, she was in trouble. And on the deuce side, when she slices, Pegula will return cross, and they would be in the forehand cross-court battle, which Rybakina won most of the time during that match. So that was the right choice, tactical choice to make. And another breakpoint for Pegula after a good return forehand down the line. And 6-all now after another forehand mistake. We can feel that Rybakina is getting more and more tight. And please stop doing some political comments on that chat, because this is not the place for that. If you want to do some, go somewhere else. Thank you. 6-all. We're going to have, Rybakina is getting tight, and Pegula's more into the match. Pegula's doing way better on second serves of her opponents. And now in that second set, everything's possible. Rybakina, of course, these 3 match points are still somewhere in the back of her head, and it plays a role. What a rally. Let's see if, for once, a long rally is won by Pegula. And yes, with a bit of luck, the ball hit the net at some point. The match is slowly changing. A 19 shots rally, 1-0 Pegula. Pegula, who's great at returning the first serves of Rybakina. Just as a reminder, Pegula was number 1 in the world in doubles. With Coco Gauff, she used to play a lot of doubles. So she developed really a good return. Sometimes she slices the return with the forehand, which I think she should not. But she returns the... Oh la la, what's a big mistake again. You know, all those mistakes that Rybakina does, all those forehands when she ran around the backhand, and on actually this backhand running around the forehand, she's too close to the ball. She's too close to the ball, so she cannot transfer the body weight, and that's why she misses it. I don't know who's the man behind the coach, but he's very expressive behind the coach of Rybakina. Now Pegula to serve, 2-1, and a big mistake, forehand mistake. Exactly in the same position as Rybakina, running around the forehand, being too close, and then the body weight goes sideways or backwards, and the ball escapes. The Zlatan guy, don't fight with your wife, please. Oh, 2 unforced error forehands for Pegula at that moment of the match. That's really annoying, not to say much. When you feel pressure, just keep this in mind. My ball is going to hit the net, so play with more margin. When you get tight, play with more margin over the net. spin more. Second serve, let's see if she serves forehand again. She does, but the ball hit the net. Backhand to backhand. Pegula changes direction, but really center. She doesn't want to take a risk. And then the forehand down the line, very good. That's exactly how she should play. Forehand down the line, changing direction, and comes to the net, forcing the mistake of Rybakina. Very well done. No more mini break. 2 serves for Pegula, but 4-3 Rybakina. It's very close. Apocalypse sorry. Question for Patrick. Do you think Elena should have been better off without those 3 match points? Well, she could have been better, yes, but you can't blame her from being tight. She got tight, so she didn't move as well, and because she was not in a good position, she missed. For all, playing deep center has paid off quite a lot for both players. Coach of Rybakina tells her, calm down, relax. That's a key point. And a mistake, big mistake from Rybakina on second serve. We can feel how nervous she is at the moment. Yes, the guy behind the coach is so funny. He's super expressive and he expresses his stress and his emotions quite a lot. Okay, so 5-4 Pegula. Rybakina serving. She just lost 3 points in a row. Huh? She has to reverse that by a good first serve. It's a good first serve and it's a winner. 5-all, and that's the most important point of the match so far. I mean, besides the 3 match points that she had, of course. 5-all is going to be a match point for Rybakina or a set point for Pegula. So just to tell you how important that point is, and slice serve to the forehand. That's not the smartest serve because the tee is more difficult to get because it's flat. Slice is easier, and slice puts Rybakina in a good position. Again, she takes the wrong side. That's crazy. But it's enough, and now it's a set point for Pegula. What a crazy match. Pegula chose the wrong side most of the time when she was close to the net, but Rybakina never, ever was able to take advantage of it. The line is forehand. Wow, great forehand of Rybakina. 6-all, they're going to turn again. Oh, big forehand mistake from Rybakina because that first serve was not fast and was in her racket. I don't know what she tried to do there, but she played too deep. The ball floating, and now another set point for Pegula, but this time on Rybakina's serve. If I was Rybakina, I would serve this one out wide, but let's see what she does. And she does. Oh, that's a big mistake from Pegula because she was really on the ball. She just had to hit the ball with spin and height over the net in order to avoid that mistake. She didn't need to play that close to the net and hit it. 7-all. Is she going to slice the serve to the forehand, which would be the best move to do? Now she goes tee. That's an ace. Wow. And now it's a match point for Rybakina. That's the uncertainty in that set is incredible. To go from 3 match points for Rybakina to then 2 set points for Pegula to then another match point now for Rybakina. That's crazy. Oh, that's going to be a second serve. So big danger. Is Rybakina going to go for it? And she does. Back down the line, backhand winner. And 7-6, 9-7 in the tiebreak for Rybakina. If you look at the whole match, it's well deserved, but it's sad for Pegula that she hasn't been able to make those set points because the effort she put on the second set and the change of tactics deserved the third set, definitely. We're going to look at the whole statistics. And the first thing we need to say is that we're going to have a final that's going to be Sabalenka against Rybakina. And that's an amazing final, really an amazing final. I was looking at Rybakina's results last year because she came back at a very high level. So she won the WTA championship, beating Sabalenka in the final 6-3, 7-6. But before that, she lost in Wuhan in the final against Sabalenka 6-3, 6-3. Just checking. She beat Sabalenka in Cincinnati 6-1, 6-4 last year. Huh? And anything else? And she lost in Berlin to Sabalenka 7-6 in the third and 8-6 in the tiebreak of the third set, which is crazy. And are there any other matches between those two? No. So as you see, they're winning and losing against each other a lot. The last match ended up with a win from Rybakina, but it's going to be a close match. We're going to have time to prepare for that match, give you as much details as possible. Again, a few words about Rybakina just to finish this streaming. Congrats, both on about the quality of the game, but also for the nerves to be able. She has been able to take away this and forget these 3 match points non-converted and stay focused on the set points that she had to save. So she showed again a big mental strength, which we know she has, and showed quality, all the qualities we know. So we'll be looking forward for that final. Thank you to all of you who have been following this streaming, and thank you for all those ones who have commented, all the ones who have subscribed also even more to my channel or followed me. And I give you an appointment tomorrow for the 2 men's semi-final that we are so excited in advance to see. Going to be Sinner against Djokovic, Alcaraz against Zverev. Have a great day or a great night, and see you tomorrow. Goodbye.